Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another session of Muff Ag Services Top Agronomy Shop Talk. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about spraying soybeans, making sure that as we get into this Liberty, these Enlist and dicamba passes, that we're going to get them right here in the next couple of weeks coming up on bean spraying. All of your dicamba passes, make sure that most of that training is pretty good on the online module in the Muff Ag book that we handed out to our customer base. We've got the link to the training module. You can go ahead and get that done. Remember, June 12th is the cutoff in the state of Iowa for that, so make sure you have your dicamba applications done by then. We're going to focus more on Enlist and Liberty applications. I'm hoping we can hold off on these Liberty applications for another week or even 2 weeks to get into some weather, some higher humidity. And I know there's some Enlist applications on these early planted beans going to be going on here this next week. A couple of things we want to focus on are, first off, making sure that we're spraying in warm weather with high humidities. We found a big correlation to having, and everybody talks about this temperature plus humidity, particularly on Liberty, should equal 140. I found that to be a rough guide, honestly. What they're trying to do is create an environment with enough humidity that the plant is actively growing and a temperature high enough that is actively growing. I found there is an app you can get on your phone or just get on a website for Weather Underground, and they have an hourly humidity forecast that is outstanding. My suggestion is, and this is where this temperature plus humidity falters, is if we get humidities below 50%, we start to see a decrease, especially if it's hot outside, 89, 90 degrees. We see a decrease in efficacy of some of our herbicides, especially with Liberty and soybeans. And so we're trying to get humidities above 50% when we're applying. In the middle of the afternoon, when we think we're doing the best job possible on some of these Liberty applications, we're actually spraying in too much heat and too low a humidity, and I see resprays increase because I think the plants are shutting down and they're not taking in as much of the herbicide. Another tip we want to make sure is we're pushing the gallons. I think everybody knows to spray 20 gallons with your Liberty, at least 15 with your Enlist, still suggest 20. And make sure we have the right tips and are getting the right coverage. A big mistake I see is operations are often going around the outside of the fields, oftentimes pretty slowly, trying to do a good job and not drift on the neighbors. When we slow down, our pressure is dropping below 40 pounds on our spray tips. This is bad because it narrows up our spread and it increases our droplet size, and we aren't getting the coverage that we need in our products to make our products work to kill weeds. And so work on keeping your pressure above 40 pounds at all times and below 70 pounds on those spray tips. I really like all of the tips that are twins. And for these Liberty applications, a twin AI is really good. But each of your spray tips, whether it's a High Pro, a Green Leaf, a T-Jet, they have apps that you can put on your phone where you can put in your nozzle spacings, your speed, and all the information you want. It'll tell you exactly what tip you should be using, or give us a call here at Muff Ag Services and we'll help talk you through it. I've worked with several growers on that here this week. And finally, and this is probably the biggest thing, is water pH. Just this weekend, I visited with a couple of growers. Here a year ago, we handed out all of our customer base these free pH meters. Surprisingly, very few people have used them. A couple of growers got them out. They tested their water and said, oh boy, we have a pH of 8 or 7-8 in our water. And we added our 3 pounds of AMS that we're putting with our Enlist and Liberty, and we only took our pH down about 7/10 to 8/10 of a point. Now for these herbicide applications, we want our water solution to have a pH of 6. So if you're gonna remove 3/4 of a point of pH, you need to be around 7 or under for 3 pounds of AMS to get you to the ideal pH to make the herbicide get into the plant as effective as possible. So, a couple of solutions. First off, we need to know where we're starting. And so if you've got one of these, you can take it out. It does, because it's a cheap free one that I gave you, require a little bit of calibration with some distilled water. If you don't want to do that, let's get a sample of your water and let's get it to us. Ideally, I would have you mix up a little bit of AMS and some. So if you have mix a third of a sprayer tank, add in the appropriate amount of AMS for a third of a sprayer tank, take a sample of that, give us a starting one and one with 3 pounds of AMS, bring it to us and we will help you sample it. We can add some additional products that are really cheap. We like this product right here called pH Neutral. And the nice thing about this product is it's got a color chart here in the back where if you want a pH of 5 to 6, it turns the water solution orange. And so you don't have to be a rocket scientist to get the right amount in, but it's highly effective, and it takes a low volume of products without lifting more bags of AMS to get the pH of your water down. You can also add more bags of AMS, but you have to hike more 50-pound bags. Getting your pH right, getting the proper pressure, the proper spray tips, and spraying in the right environment is a big part of keeping our weed kills to 100% through our post-herbicide applications in soybeans. Thank you for joining us for another application of Top Agronomy Shop Talk.